So it was very pleased to announce that this is our third episode, and we are getting very good feedback from all our viewers and supporters. Just because of your love and support, this is our third episode. So today our episode will ask about the details about the eligible occupation code for skilled worker coming in the UK. Because in the last episode we tried to elaborate it, but because of the so many questions and the time limit, we couldn't do it. So this episode will Mr. Lutfur, I'll request to Mr. Lutfur, so make all the related informations about the eligible occupation code for the skilled worker coming to the UK. And we got so many questions from the last episode, so we'll try to ask the questions. And we already got some questions from our email and social media, so we try to answer all the questions. So have some patience, and our comment section is open. You can ask your question right now. And most importantly, share this live to your friends and family so they can get the right information from the right source. So I'll request Mr. Luftur to start his speech about the detail about the eligible occupations for the skilled worker coming to the UK.
Thank you, Mr. Ifsaka. Thank you. Those of our who are listening, if you are fasting, then Ramadan Mubarak. And if you are not the other religion, is say good evening. Um, what it is, we will discuss today about eligible occupation for skilled worker coming to the UK. So, what is eligible occupation code? Eligible occupation code is every job in this country. It's called ONS code. It's like Office of National Security. There is every job. There is a code. Every job, starting from kitchen porter, from cleaner to all the way to CEO to pilot to footballer. Every position who actually can work, there is a job code. It's called ONS code. So what government did? Government put some code to the work permit for the skilled worker position, some code. So some code means it's not a very few code, it's like a thousand, nearly thousand code is eligible for a skilled worker position. And used to be, it was very tough, say before Brexit 2020. The code was only for which is equivalent level 6, which is RQF level 6 code. And this was like tough. No RQF level 4, no RQF level 3. So RQF level 6, there is a every code there is a level which is RQF starting from RQF level 3 to RQF level 6. So
Yeah.
pre 2020, pre Brexit, only eligible occupation code was RQF level 6, which is managing position, which is
Yes.
business development manager, account manager, all the high level manager skill, highly nearly highly skilled position. Then post Brexit, the new law comes up, which is they brought into like level 4, even level 3 job, which is level 3, such as, for example, customer service manager is a level 3 job. For example, a sales executive is a level 3 job. So any job which comes under level 3 job, that can be eligible.
Okay.
But sometimes government put some occupation, even though it's a level 3, they said it's not eligible. For example, waiter. Waiter is a level 3 position, but government deliberately put it that it's not come under eligible occupation code, because they don't want like because this waiter position could be taken by anybody in the UK, like student or settled person, any young generation, they can take it, any British person. So they don't want to take competition of this position by a migrant worker, the foreign worker. That's why government deliberately take this out for even though it's a level 3, but they said it's not eligible occupation code. That some occupation is not even level 3, it's even below level 3. But if the government want, they can put it back to the eligible occupation code, such as carer. Carer is a below level 3 position, but what the government did, government took this position under shortage occupation leads, and then they said it's eligible occupation code. You know why? Because this, there is demand for this code. So it's all about depends on the demand. The Migration Advisory Committee always put some code exceptionally on the eligible occupation code. But generally, all the position of level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6 comes under eligible occupation code. So any business, be it restaurant, be it a travel agency, be it money transfer, any business or cash and carry. If anything comes, a position comes level 3 position, such as manager, customer service manager, or such as like accounts manager, or for example, one of my client asked me, I've got a big wholesale cash and carry, I deliver foods everywhere, I've got 3,000 staff, so what position I can bring it in?
Yeah.
I said, "What's department you have?" He said, "I've got HR department, I've got IT department, I got a wholesale department." I said, "Every department, if there is a position and if it's a shortage, I mean, you need a staff. Since you have a sponsor license, you can bring it in, as long as it's come under eligible occupation code."
Yeah.
So even a cash and carry, he might think I can bring only BHR. No, he can
Uh,
bring HR manager, he can bring IT staff, he can bring sales staff. So any business, whatever department they got, according to their demand, they can bring it in.
there's so many opportunity and so many.
So many. So some people ask me, a business owner, how many people I can bring it in? Said say a restaurant owner. He said, I've got a license. How many people I can bring it? This is a common question. But my question is, there is no limit. You can bring as many people as you like according to your demand. So imagine you got a restaurant. Now you are expanding, and you got a head chef. Then you got a second chef. You got a tandoori chef. So you think I might need a cook, but cook is not a position in the eligible occupation code. So but there is a position called butcher chef, so we can put it as a butcher chef, and he can come as well under butcher chef, so he can do your job. So chef is just not a chef. In a chef there are like 10, 15 chef, in a name: salad chef, dessert chef, what is called butcher chef, head chef, executive chef, sauce chef. So even in a kitchen there are lots of chef you could bring it in, provided you can put them on the payroll and your business demands and you are short of staff. That's the things. So once you got a license, according to your demand, you can bring as many people as you like.
okay. So this is a very common questions from everyone. I hope you get your answer. So we already got so many, the questions is keep coming on. I'll show in your screen. সো আমি যেটা বলব, যারা আসলে বাংলাদেশ থেকে শুনছেন এবং যারা আমাদের এখানে যারা আছেন, স্পেশালি বাঙালি কমিউনিটি, আমরা আপনাদের সবার উদ্দেশ্যে বলব যে আপনারা আমাদের লাইভটা শেয়ার করেন আপনাদের পরিবার পরিজন, আপনার বন্ধুরা যারা দেখতে পারে, এবং আপনাদের যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে আপনারা সরাসরি আমাদের কোয়েশ্চেন আপনারা প্রশ্ন করতে পারেন আমাদের কমেন্ট বক্সে। আসলে অনেকগুলো প্রশ্ন আসে, আমরা চেষ্টা করি সবগুলোর আমরা আনসার দেওয়ার। তারপরও আমরা ২-১ টা যদি আমাদের মিস হয়ে যায়, আমরা পরবর্তী সেশনে আমরা সেগুলো আমরা আমরা আনসার দিই, এবং আমরা আপনাদের ইনবক্সে
Okay.
যদি আপনারা কোয়েশ্চেন করেন, আমরা সেগুলোর আনসার দিয়ে দিব। সো আমরা অনেকগুলো কোয়েশ্চেন চলে আসছে। আমরা সবসময় বলি যে কিউএ সেশনটা আমরা আমাদের লাইভ সেশনের আমরা পরে করব। সো
Okay.
আমরা পরবর্তীতে আমরা এগুলো সব আনসার দিব।
Yeah, it will be there. So my question is, what is the eligible occupation code? Eligible occupation code is the position you can come into the UK, and you can see easily if you go to the Google. If you go to the Google, you can check eligible occupation for skill worker. You can see all the code, and code comes with salary as well. For example, a chef, he wants to come to the UK. Okay, and if you go to the Google, you can find UKBA site, eligible occupation code chef, that can come to the UK. But the problem is, mm, although it's the eligible occupation code, salary has to be certain level. So if you see the eligible occupation chef salary is 17,000 or 18,000 pounds, you could not come into the UK with this salary. So the salary threshold has to match as well, because it's all about a what is called point based system. So first you have to check whether it's a eligible occupation code or not. Second, you have to check whether appropriate salary you are paying or not. Third, you have to meet all the other English language requirement you meet or not. Fourth, you have to meet all the maintenance requirement meet or not. So, and the very first important thing, the employer who wishes to bring you in, he must have a sponsor license in the UK. If he doesn't have a sponsor license, he cannot bring in it. Most of the client call me from Bangladesh, and every day, even today, I've got so many calls, and a Facebook message as well. How can I come? I've got this skill, I've got that skill. The problem is I can't bring you in. You have to find an employer. That's the biggest things, because I work only, I things, I only assist the people who don't have a sponsor license. The business, I assist them to apply for a sponsor license. And when they said, I found this candidate, can you bring it in, then I can help. So imagine if you found an employer in the UK, whoever it is. For example, he opened a restaurant, or he has a restaurant, or he has a cash and carry, or he has a construction industry, or he has something. You found an employer, and then you send an application. Then employer said, I want to recruit this person, but this employer might not have a license, sponsor license. Then I can come into place, I can tap into this place, and he can say, look, can you help this employer to get the license? Then I can assist the employer to get the license sorted, and then I can assist you to bring you in the UK. So employer is all about the things I do. I assist employer to get the sponsor license, and then I assist the employee who wishes to come to the UK for this employer. This is my job. So if any employee, please, I've got so many thousands of messages in my Facebook Messenger. Oh, I've got this experience, how can I come? I've got this experience, how can I come? First thing, you have to find an employer. I can find an employer for you. I've got a license. You can check on the home office side. All the licenses are registered already in the UK. You can send your CV, or even if the employer, he found someone he doesn't have a license,
Yeah.
then you can tag me, and I can help this employer to get a license. And so first, employer has to have a license. Then employer, according to his business needs, he can say, I need this position, I've got shortage of this position. And again, as I explained before, that every business, there are so many department. And any is it, say for example, a restaurant, he can say, I can bring a chef, I can bring in a kitchen section. What can I bring in the front position? He cannot bring a waiter, fine. Waiter is not in the under eligible occupation code, but he can bring floor manager, he can bring customer manager, service manager, he can bring like bar manager. So anything related with the managing the position, he can bring it in. And some even bring in sales manager, like go outside, get the customer, or do the some even hire like digital marketing manager. So if the big business, they can hire a digital marketing manager. So even a restaurant, there are so many factors. Cash and carry, so many department. So every business, whatever the position they need, as long as it's come under from RQF level 3 to RQF level 6 position, it's normally is eligible. And then first you check whether it's eligible occupation. And eligible occupation is very vast. Say, as I said, from accountant, from bricklayer, from plaster, from plumber, from carer, from grocery store, from butcher, fish cutter, meat cutter, fish filleter. So many position in there. Any business, there are 5 million business in the UK. And you know what? Surprisingly, only 1.53% has got a license.
Wow,
Only
this is
70,000 company got a
surprising.
license. So
Surprising.
lots of people don't have a license. So if you found any job, be in the UK, maybe some people are in the UK as a student. So you find maybe an employer, you're working for an employer. An employer don't have a license. An employer want you to work for him full time. You can ask employer, you can say, employer, look, if you apply for a license, you can recruit me. Just now, this morning, I got a call. One person work in a charity shop in Barnard, big charity shop. And he told me that, look, how can I get because my employer wants me to work full time. I said, very simple. Talk to your employer and say, look, if he can apply for a license, then he can offer you a job full time, and you can switch your student to work permit. So that's the way. So every employer might not have a license, but you might have a job, and he might need you for full time position. You can talk to him, and then I can come into play. Then you can get our assistance. Then we can help you, your employer, how to get a license, and we can help you to you as well, how to get your course and visa sorted. So that's the bottom line, and that's the most way forward. Rather than calling me and giving me, I have experience, how can I get it? I can't help you out, but there are plenty of employer you can look into, and then I can help you out.
Okay, so getting a sponsor license is very easy. You just need to call WPC, and WPC will here to help you all everything. We have a huge team, and we have a good customer service experience. You can read our all the Google review, so we'll get like how we deal with our customers and with our clients. All our clients is very important. Each of every case is very important for us, and we take care of individually all our cases. So read all our great review from our customers,
It's very important point you raised. Actually, the review. Yeah, you can say our Google review how we do conduct our service to the client and for the specially sponsorized application. The people who are a student, even if they want to open a business, they might say, "Look, I want to sponsor myself. How can I do this?" It's called self sponsorship.
As sponsorship.
Again, self sponsorship. Again, what you can do, you can find a British or settled person who are in the UK, open up a company, and it can be a partner of this company. And then what is it? It can be 100% shareholder of the company, but you need a one authorizing officer who are settled or British. You can't be authorizing officer yourself. That's the only tricky part. Otherwise, used to be before pre-20, you can't be a more than 10% shareholder of the company you are working for. Now, rule is you can be 100% shareholder of the company you are working for or you are sponsoring for. So what happened? So imagine you got a restaurant. For example, you want to open a restaurant. Find a British or settled person who can open up a company. You can be a shareholder of the company, or because a student you can't be a shareholder of company. You can be a founder of the company, and you can say, look, you open a business. He will be the authorizing officer, and then once you are employed, once you are sponsored, once you got a license, once you are sponsored in the company as a manager, you can be a managing director. You can control, you can manage your own license rather than somebody else. So this is called self sponsorship. But only difficulty to open a self sponsorship is you cannot be a authorizing officer because you are a student, and you cannot be even a director, or when you find a difficulty to open a bank account, business account. So that's why you need a authorizing officer, someone who can be employed by yourself, who can be employed, and he could be just authorizing officer. Then you will be running the show. You can be the main employer, and you can control your business rather than doing by somebody else. So this is another way you can stay in this country as an under skilled worker role.
So I have a question. It's like if I just started a business with a what about all the with conditions. So how many days it really takes? Like my account or you need to be settled down. What is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next procedure?
Yeah, normally license takes 8 to 10 weeks to get the license, but now there is a fast track position. You can pay £500 extra priority fees, and you can get a license within 5 days. Within sorry 5 working days, sometimes 10 working days, you can get a license. And the beauty is, if you pay the priority service, and if they think the application is complicated, they will refund your money. They would not charge you priority service. So this is the way you can get your application fast tracked. One thing. Second, as you said, how quickly a person open a business, and how quickly they can bring forward all the eligible documents to apply for a license. So imagine if nobody has someone want to open a license, a business, new business. So for new business, you must have open a, normally people start with a company house. So they set up a company. So this is a company. Once you set up a company setting up a company is very easy. You can do in a day. And then once you set up a company, then go to the accountant, or you can apply for a PYE account number, which is called from HMRC. You can apply for a PYE number. This is a mandatory for apply for a license. This takes 8 to 10 days to get this, or sometimes 20 days to get this letter from HMRC that you are registered with PYE. So this is called one of the documents. Then once you set up a company, go to the bank, open a bank account. So even a letter from the bank would be fine, or even a first month bank statement. Some people, even today, one client asked me, okay, how many month bank statement I need to apply for a license? Some people have a misconception that my business must have at least 18 month or two, or annual account must be there to apply for a license. No, you can apply for a license the minute you open a bank account. Even you can apply the using a letter from the bank. Not you don't have to wait for a month even for the bank statement. So letter from the bank is one document. PYE, which is second document, as I said, it takes 10 days. So PYE letter from HMRC. So you'll get in 20 days time once you open up a company. So this is the second document. Third, obviously you must have a office or tenancy agreement. If you open a restaurant, you must have a place. So third document is like a tenancy agreement or lease agreement or freehold, whatever you have got, or office agreement, whatever. So this is the third. And fourth is employer liability insurance certificate, which is very easy. You can apply for any company such as Hiscox or other company online, and you can get your business insured. Insured means employer liability insurance, which is if you're, because you are taking an employee, and if your employee is injured or something, it's covered by insurance. So insurance, bank letter or bank statement, tenancy agreement, and POI. This four document is enough for any business to apply for a license. Any business. So this could be sorted within a month even to get all those four documents,
Yeah,
and
it's
then you
quick.
can. It is very easy. Then you can apply for a license. This is for the fresh company. For the old company, they're different. So if somebody is running a business for more than 18 months, for example, in that case, they have to have a annual accounts mandatory. The account they submitted to the company house last year annual accounts they have to submit because they are old. So because they're 18-month old business, so this is a mandatory. You have to submit your annual accounts. And other one of the other mandatory documents is like, for example, if you want to open a restaurant, then you must have registered with the local council that you are running a business. So remember every restaurant there's a food standard rating,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. So this rating is in the sticker. There's a council name there. So if you send the copy of the sticker, that's enough. So some business, to run a business, you need a regulatory body approval. For a restaurant, you need a permission from the local council. For a solicitor firm, you need a license from the SRA. For an accountant firm, you need a license, some from awarding body, SCCA or something, or some other awarding body. So the bid for cash and carry, you don't need a approval from awarding body, so you can apply immediately. For travel agents, again, it's not mandatory, but some people got IATA and other things, you can supply. So if it's a mandatory to run a business, approval from some care agency, for example, a care home, they need mandatory for CQC license to run a care home. So this is the documents Home Office always ask for. Construction industry, you don't need any mandatory documents. Approval. So you can set up a company, office, and bank statement and POI, apply for a license. Then you can bring like a bricklayer, plaster, plumber for your project. So this is the things,
Yes.
just to get the license and bring under eligible check whether it's under eligible occupation code or not, and then pay the appropriate salary, and then anybody can come for 3 years or 5 years.
Okay, this is excellent. So, if you have further questions, you want to set up your own company, or you want to know more about the self sponsorship, visit our office, or call our office, or visit our website and get an appointment.
Uh,
Uh,
another interesting one I've done last week, which is called lots of people on post study work. So post study work means you can be a full time worker or you can set up a company. And one client I did, he the post study work. He finished his graduation and masters, and he on post study work, and he set up a company. All he has done, hired a authorizing officer as employed a settled person, put him on authorizing officer, and got the license, and now he's his own boss. He is the manager of this company. So lots of post study work easy because you can set up a company, you can open a bank account, and you can be a 100% shareholder, and you can be your own boss, and then you can be a skilled worker, and after 5 years you can get settled in the UK. So post study worker is very easy. They can open a bank account and they can do. But other people, maybe some student who are not post study work, they need someone who can open a bank account. So they need a partner at least. Otherwise, they can't do bank account. They can't do company house, open a company. So they need someone to open a company for them on behalf of. Once the work permit sorted, they can be their own boss. So this is the easiest way. The current rule says, according to self sponsorship, and the current rule is very flexible for this.
So, viewers, this is excellent news for everyone who are like to be your own boss and come visit our office or call us. So, there is another question. So, like, can online bank apply for the sponsorship license? Is it possible, like the Monzo, Tate, something like that?
Now, this is a quite tricky question because what happened, normally they want FSA regulated bank only can use the bank statement. So some people sometimes they come revolt some online bank account Monjo. Some people use like what is called Tide. Sometimes I found out they said because you are providing only four documents. Remember, you don't have annual accounts. If somebody does have a 18-month-old business providing annual accounts. So in that case, even bank statement is not required even. Because if somebody old business, if they provide annual accounts, if they provide VAT statement, if they provide lease agreement, and if they provide this, they don't even need a bank statement because bank statement is because it's mandatory because you got only four documents, and in that case, bank statement comes under mandatory for you. For a new business, that's why my advice would be get the high street bank, such
Yes.
as Lloyds, Metro, HSBC, NetWest, Barclays, High Street, and online most important the online they don't raise any question about Starling Bank. I so far I've done so many license. So Starling Bank they accept, but Tide they raise a question. And Monjo, I've done one, they accepted, but some case worker because maybe other documents they provided, that's why they accepted. So my best advice would be try to open High Street Bank, or if it's online, only do the Starling is better rather than go for Tide or other accounts.
Okay, so I hope we have cover all our eligible occupation list and self sponsorship topic. Now we'll start our Q&A session. This is the second part of our live. So you guys know we try to conduct our live within 1 hour. So far, half hour is about our topic discussion, and second half an hour is about our Q&A session. So we got some questions from the last live, and we already got so many questions from this live. We'll try to answer from these live questions first, and we'll ask the our third, second live questions next. Okay, so I'll start from the first one. So, Mr. Ashraful Alam, I'm watching the video. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashraful Islam, all the supporter, whoever watching our video and sharing our video. Thank you so much, guys. We are doing for you all so we can get the right information from the right person, like experienced person, like Mr. Luftu. Tanya Ahmad said hello, hello Tanya Begum, and uh, Chris Boro says my name is Tansukia, an internship student, and what is the best option for me to apply for the work permit? I hope you are watching this live and you already get all the answer.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have explained to you. I have explained to you because as a student, you need someone who settle in the UK or British person who can set up a company on behalf of you, and then whichever you are good at the business, and then first obviously one thing, if you find an employer, and if you've been employed by this employer, you don't have to do anything. You can be sponsored by this employer, and that's it. You can switch. This is the first option. Second option, if you don't find any employer who can sponsor you, then the second option you can do, which is find an employer, find a settled or British person who can be open a business on behalf of you, and then you can be sponsored. Then once everything's sorted, you can be 100% shareholder of the company, and you can run your own business. So at this way you can switch from student to skilled worker. And once you come under skilled worker, if you stay 5 years as a skilled worker, then after 5 years you can get indefinite leave to remain in the UK.
okay, thank you so much. This question also, my questions also, because since I'm also the work permit road visa. So Muhammad Iqbal Choudhury, he said like skilled worker visa for indefinite leave, what document mandatory? This is, I think, is
Yeah,
a very important
yeah.
question.
This is a very important question. What happened? Normally, home office wants last month pay slips and the letter from your existing employer that you will be employed even if you get indefinite leave to remain. So there is a demand for this. So one letter from the employer that this person would be employed even if he gets settlement. So this is the most important one. If he said I don't need him, then you might need another employer because they will give you settlement only because you are a skilled person and your employer need you. But because you completed 5 years, you will get an indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So this is a mandatory letter from the employer. Thus, I need this employee. So I'm supporting his application for indefinite leave to remain in the UK. Okay, the first one. Second one, last month pay slips, the very last month pay slips. So these two documents is mandatory. However, I've got so many cases, like 70-80% cases. They ask 5P60, 5P60 duration of your employment, and this is the tricky bit because what happened if they ask all of your P60 of last 5 years, then you have to keep the record because they can check from the record as well. I've got so many cases beforehand because now the all 5 years has not completed. Since 2020, people are coming, people are switching. Maybe most of them will be eligible in 2025. And then we'll see how home office is acting. But from my experience, the people I've done the indefinite leave to remain in the UK, the first two things, according to the form, which is last month pay slips, letter from the employer. This is the basic one.
Okay.
If the home office doubt anything, because home office nowadays check from the POA number, because they have got every employer's POA number with them. So if they check and if they say yes, this person was employed for last 5 years with the same company, they would not ask a secondary question. They will give you indefinite leave to remain in the
Just
UK.
trying to interpret some, the people like they are not like expert like you, so they don't understand what is the POI. So can you elaborate like why what is POI and what is so
No,
important?
POI, like every month, your employer has to pay tax to the HMRC, and this is called PUI, pay as you earn. So imagine your salary is 25,000 or 26,000 salary per annum. So over the whole year, whether you earn 26,000 gross payment, and whether out of 26,000, whether your employer paid the right tax for you. So there are some tax which is you have to pay NI and tax. You can see any payslip, you can see there is a tax NI and tax for on behalf of employee, and there is another tax for on behalf of employer. So as long as it's been paid, so every year in April you get a P60, and on the P60, which is you can see how much you have earned this year, how much you have paid the tax this year. So you need to keep this copy. It's a mandatory. It's very important. Keep in with you, because what happened? And every employer is bound to give you P60. You ask them. This April is coming. Ask every employer, give my P60. So because accountant issue P60 in April, so every April you will get a P60. So maybe this year, if somebody started 6 months ago, so he will get only 6 month portion of his salary in the P60 showing. So P60 is like your end of year documents, end of your tax file. So you'll keep the all five. After completing 5 years, if you are confident, give with your payslip, last month payslip with your 5 P60, and that's it. Some people,
Okay.
when they start, maybe the employer is not showing them right payslip. Maybe they take 2 months, 3 months to start, things like this. So those sort of cases we can explain that look, I started and my employer put me less hour. Look at the care sector now. Lots of people maybe in the care sector, they are not getting the right hour. Then it's not reflecting the right. So those sort of issue would come when they will apply for an indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So that time we can explain what happened. And home office is allow some discretion if it's like 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, or if it's the fault of employer, not the employee. Because if you say, look, employer did not, give me hour, that's why I was available and everything. So these sort of things sometime. But if you don't say 1 year, whole 1 year, you are not on the payroll, and you could not share P60, you would not get settlement. Or 3 years, 5 years, you are not showing, you just got a visa. Some people think, oh, I've got 5 years visa, I'll get indefinite. No, 5 years visa doesn't mean that you'll get indefinite after 5 years. No, you have to keep all the record, especially the P60 with you, so that once if any question comes up, you can send it to them. And normally, as I said, home office can check. I've got one cases I can share you with this 2 3 years ago. One person, he was a chef, and he got a work permit for a chef visa. At the same time, he was working Sainsbury, and Sainsbury, he didn't tell Sainsbury that I changed my visa, and Sainsbury normally should have checked
Yeah,
that
this is
whether he's
status is
eligible or
changed.
not.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but Sainsbury HR manager, for some reason, he was a managing position. Some reason they didn't ask. Some reason think he's got a visa, and he said, "I'm allowed to work 20 hours. Secondary job, I'm working." And they said, "Yes, maybe he's working 20. It's allowed, but it has to be similar job.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if you're a chef, you can work 20 hours. Another restaurant chef, but he's working Sainsbury on the customer service section for last 4 years. Okay." When the indefinite leave to remain position comes up, we apply for indefinite leave to remain in the UK. They said, according to our record, you worked on Sainsbury for last 4 years, and you are not entitled to get settlement because you breach your immigration condition.
yeah,
You have worked somewhere which your visa is not allowing to work. So that's why he didn't get settled. So that's why very tricky. If you think, okay, my employer, I've got another case as well. He worked in a McDonald's. He was a manager, and he didn't inform his boss that I'm not allowed to work as a manager anymore because I've got a work permit somewhere. And when he applied for indefinite leave to remain in the UK, he's been caught. So that's why similar job. If anybody got a work permit, you can work only similar job or shortage occupation for any other job. For example, you are a chef now, and you got another job as a carer. You can work 20 hours because carer is a shortage occupation. Bricklayer, plaster, plumber is coming in June, shortage occupation. So you are a chef, you can work another construction industry 20 hours. And if the home office asks why you work another position, you can say this is a shortage occupation. That's why I was working there. and clear explanation, and you'll get indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So tax record is very important for anybody. Visa is not that just I got a visa, I've got a BRP card, and I'll get indefinite leave to remain in the UK. No, you won't get it.
Okay. I think this one is very important question. Is Zaman Ubaid Shawan. He said, "Hello, sir. I am a skilled worker visa as a chef from the 1 year. Now my employer not able to give me work. Now I also get another company who is agreed to offer a sponsorship, but I have to work with them at the 6 months full time with them. But unfortunately, I haven't permission to work full time other places. Now, please, may I know what should I do?"
Yeah, because you have to what is called talk to your employer, the new employer. Look, my visa is not cannot allow to work for you full time, so only I can give you a part time 6 month, and then if you still like me, then offer me, and once you offer, then I can work full time. Because first thing, you have to work with your employer, main employer, full time, then you can work the second employer. So if your main employer doesn't have a job, then try to find another employer who can either take you straight away, take you as a employee, as a sponsored employee, or the way you found another employer, which is as you said, but he is not giving you sponsorship until unless you work for him for 6 months full time. Please explain to him, look, I'm not allowed, so I can't do this. I can only work for you 20 hours. And if you see my work in 20 hours and if you like it, then sponsor me. Once you sponsor, then I can work full time. Without sponsor, no, but he's not sponsoring anyway, because there are other things people could do. If they got a two job, you can use his sponsorship and you can work full time. Then you can use the current sponsorship as well. But because, as you said, your current, because say for example, let me give you one example. You are a chef, you got a one employer, you found it. Then, and your employer, you are working 40 hours. Then you found another employer who want to give you 30 hours job, for example. And he's not a restaurant, he's a cash and carry, a 30 hours job, sales manager. So what can you do? He can sponsor you as well. He can apply. If he is sponsor, he can issue a COS, and you can work two employer with two COS. But in that case, not 20 hours, you can work 30 hours, or you can work 40 hours over there as well. So if you want to work more than 20 hours in some places which is not related with your business, ask those employer, please apply for a license. So either one way, you can switch straight away from one employer to another, or you can work two places with two COS. So if somebody said, okay, my employer I like as a chef, but I also work as a sales manager. So if you find another employer, those employer can sponsor you. This is called additional job if you want to work more than 20 hours. But if you have 20 hours with similar job, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to update. You don't have to inform to the home office. But coming back to Jaman question, Shawan, I'm sorry, you have to convince your employer, new employer, that please allow me part time. Then, or if you want me full time service, apply for a license and take me as a change of employment position on a company. Thank you.
Okay, the second question is Ahmad. Ahmad, he's a very, the loyal viewers of us. He watch all our live. Mr. Lutfur Rahman Bhai and his team. My question is, our skilled worker visa holder apply for his dependent from the India. Is need to test for his child under 12 years age, please, because his wife need. Please advise and thanks again for all your professional service provide us honestly and good knowledge team. We recommend all your family and friend always. Uh,
No, under 18 doesn't require a test. Under 18, don't need a test. So only his wife need a test.
okay. So I hope Mr. Ahmad you get your answer. Second is Mr. Shirajur Rahman. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to thank you and your team, WPC team, to creating this platform. Thank you so much, Shirajur Rahman. Through which we got the opportunity to directly talk with Mr. Luftur and get his answer questions. If this is what about the this is episode live with Luftur. So I'm a chef of your reference
I'm
by
a client of yours.
yeah, I'm client of yours, referenced by Mr. Mustafizur Rahman. I have a question for you. My name is Shirajur Rahman. I applied for care visa on 5th February 2023 and with my wife and child. It has been over 9 weeks since we submitted our file. Still no decision from Equipat. We can make an inquiry. So What is the taking so times in the
Yes, yes. Shazur Rahman, yes, thank you very much. What it is, you will get your decision very soon. What happened? Uh, some care visa, the people who applied in January, it takes longer. I don't know why suddenly all the application. Normally, care visa decision comes up in 4 weeks' time. But for you and some other cases, it takes nearly eight. Today, I've got even 4 or 5 decision, similar time like you, they applied, and every day they are giving a decision. So I think they are backlog, lots of backlog. So hopefully we will get a decision by next week. I'm confident, because the way, the same time, other candidate applied like you, and they got the decision even today. So you might get a decision very soon. Very if you don't get a decision by this month, please contact my what is called recruitment team, or who are helping you, and especially Fahad as well. And then he can, what he can do, we can send an what is called forwarding email, that what is going on, and it's quite more than 12 weeks towards decision. So they will fast track. But I think you'll get a decision by this month, definitely, because there are lots of backlog, and they're clearing it out, and you'll get a decision by this month. If you don't get, contact my team, and we'll send a reminder email to the home office. I hope
Mr.
I've
Ahmad,
answered
is
it.
said just for clarity, I'm talking about the TB test of the child, not
I know, I know.
English test.
I know. TB test. I think, yes. I think as well. You don't require. You don't need a TB test. I know you are talking about English test. Yeah, TB test. No.
So Katie Boros, he said, can you give McDonald's license? Because if you watch the full live, Mr. Luftu said, we're not providing the work permit license. We have to company get their work permit license so they can sponsor you. Am I right, Mr. Luftu?
That's what I said. Yeah, Kaisborough said, "Can you give McDonald's?" No, McDonald's license. You talk to your McDonald's. I've done so many McDonald's who got a franchise agreement, and they can apply for a sponsor license. You can talk to your manager, area manager, and every McDonald's must have some license. They have a license. If your branch don't have a license, sometimes McDonald's owned by franchisee. So
Mhm.
like Subway, I've done so many Subway as well. So if your franchisee, whoever the franchise owner, he can apply for this branch, and then you can be a customer service manager, because customer service manager is come under eligible occupation code. Floor manager comes under eligible occupation code. Shift manager come under eligible occupation code. Used to be the normally McDonald's only the high position business development manager, area manager position would have been applied. Now, as I said, post Brexit, lots of smaller position under level 3 also can apply. So talk to your boss, whoever it is, and they can apply for a license if they don't have, and I can help you how to get the license. That's my job. And then once you get a license, I can help you how to get the visa sorted for you. So this is the things I could do. But I cannot manage an employer for you. That's a lots of question I've got like this, but this is a very tricky one, and I don't get it. If you find an employer, I can help you out.
Okay. So this is the Q&A session from this live. We got so many questions, but it's not related with our live, so I just keep it. So, uh, Mr. Lufto, do you want to add something important information or important update about the recent days? Want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, the recent update is coming in April the 12th, which is after the bank holiday starts, and then lots of changes come into place. But yeah, I've got one of the question. People said whether Bangladesh is banned, whether Bangladesh is red list country for carer. I explained lots of webinar and lots of discussion that Bangladesh is not banned if the employer directly recruit. Bangladesh is red listed only if any employment agency goes from here and try to recruit. For example, lots of university go to Bangladesh and recruit because it's allowed. For the university is not restricted. But if any NHS health care agency or an recruitment agency want to go to Bangladesh, they are not allowed. They could not recruit from Bangladesh. But if any employee gets a job from Bangladeshi, anybody gets a job, like as we said, Mustafiz Rahman, the guy who is Sirajur Rahman, he found a job through Mustafiz Rahman in an employer. So if you find a job, any employer in the UK, and then if the employer wishes to sponsor you, there is no bar. You can apply, and you can get your things sorted. So remember, Bangladesh is not banned. This is the first question. Provided as long as you find an employer in the UK who employ you directly. So this is the one question. Second, most of people ask me whether carer is getting closed after 12th of 13. Again, it was for a year, it's true. It was supposed to be finished in February, but it's not. It's been open and it's ongoing. So until and unless government comes up with another announcement, it will continue. So it's not closed. So carer position is still open. Don't worry about this, and it's on. And third, lots of people asking me the bricklayer, plaster, plumber, the new announcement is coming, shortage occupation, what's going on? It's coming under in the summertime, maybe in June. This position, the five position, will be coming under shortage occupation list as like carer. Already is eligible occupation, you can come, but if you come under shortage, then your fee would be less, and your application would be checked quickly, and the more likely you'll get a visa. So because shortage occupation, anti clients and other officer so differently, because they think it's a shortage, that's why you are getting this position by the employer. So whoever is listening from Bangladesh, please, instead of asking me a message and thing, get your experience sorted, become a bricklayer, whatever profession you like, get experience done, do the IELTS done, and then apply for a various company. We've got a one site called skillworkerroad.co.uk. You can send your CV as well, and lots of employer can see this CV and apply. We can also send your CV if we find an employer, but we can't. And if you find an employer, we can help you to get this employer the license sorted, and then you can come.
Because you just share with their experience, they need to gain their experience. Mr. Amin, he asks, hello sir, may I know that I have a medical work experience certificate which is unpaid experience. So my question is to you, is there any problem for applying with unpaid medical experience?
Hello, sir. May I know that I have medical work experience certificate, which is unpaid experience? So my question is to you: is this any problem for applying with unpaid medical experience? No, no problem at all. If you want to care visa, if you want to care visa, for example, another very important answer is lots of people use. They think that experience is required for the carer position. Actually, it's a below level 3 position. If the employer assured you that one certificate is enough, you don't need to provide even experience. So if you provide your experience, but make sure if they inquire for this experience, your employer has to confirm, yes, you worked unpaid experience. Because if the employer doesn't confirm, the risky part is you'll get banned for 10 years. So if you send any letter, if you think that, okay, I didn't get paid, but I gave some voluntary works, but if your employer say, no, 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 he didn't work, he didn't work here, or not even unpaid, you'll get 10 years ban. So unpaid, paid, it doesn't matter. It will be counted, because if your employer support. If you get a letter from employer, you can use it. No worry.
Okay. It's not nothing related with the home office. It's about your employer and you, right? Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So most of the like people like they wants to come to the UK with a work permit license. Do you have any suggestion like how they need to get prepared by themselves and
Yes.
what?
If you want to come to the UK, two, three things you have to bear in mind. First, IELTS, the very mandatory. Regard, if somebody might say, "Oh, carer might not do the English test." This is a very wrong thing. Carer, and lots of mixed up. Lots of people think carer and skill worker two different things. No, carer is a position. It's also skill worker. So skill worker, any position is called skill worker position. Carer, even the bricklayer, plaster, plumber, lots of things. So lots of people might think, oh, bricklayer might not need an English test because a bricklayer. No, any skill worker position if you want to come to the UK, be it a carer, be it a chef, be it a bricklayer, plumber, whatever, you must have a English language B1 level English language qualification. So if it's a IELTS, you must have a UKVI IELTS minimum score 4 of every section: speaking, listening, reading, writing, all four component. You have to have a 4 minimum score point. If you got 3.5 on reading, you won't be accepted. So these are the first things. So regardless of seeking for employer, seeking for whatever, if you are not confident you'll pass the IELTS, forget it. So this is the first thing. So once you are confident that you'll pass the IELTS, the second position is get the required experience, which position you want to after. It's not like, okay, I'm a chef, I want to come, but you are not a chef. So then what happened? You gave it somewhere from a letter, then home office check, and you'll be banned for 10 years. So that's another problem. So what happened? So always get a right experience for the right job. So as I said, bricklayer, plaster, plumber is coming. Lots of position are there. Please go there, work there. In Bangladesh, developing company, or even even what is called technical college. Get learn it, and if you learn, send your CV to the skill worker or wherever. If you find a job, and if we find something, we'll contact. Obviously, send your CV, and then we'll contact with you. But normally it's not for us. You have to find an employer in the UK through whatever mechanism you find. Job center or friends, and like the Shiraj Roman using his friend. So if your friend has got an employer or whatever, find an employer, and the employer if doesn't have a license, then we can come into play. As I said, we did so many people's license, so we can apply for this employer license, and then you can come. So first, do your part, English and experience. Third, find an employer. And fourth, contact with us. We can do the your sponsorship license application if your employer don't have a license. If your employer have a license, we can help you out to how to get your visa sorted. We can do this sort of thing. So this is my advice. Please, instead of asking me and things and whatever position, first of all, you assess yourself whether you can do the IELTS or not. Second, you assess yourself whether you got the right skill or not. Then third position comes up, that whether you got a employer, you find an employer or not. If you don't find an employer, contact. There are lots of Indeed job site, lots of sites you can apply, and then if you find an employer, then you can come.
Okay, this is the we are very close to finish our time. We are at end of our live session. We got some questions. We try to answer all the questions. We got some also answer some previous questions also. So I'll take the last questions from Kasida Zahan. She says, "Sir, I have all the required document like EQ 6 point, brand, TV status, and PPC. Can I apply for care visa with the NOC experience?"
Yes. If you find an employer, as I again explained, you don't need an experience. I've got so many clients. They've done, like, the high speed training, adult course online. You can do course, lots of course, online course you can do. A high speed training. Maybe the employee candidate pay only £70 or £75, and you can do the test in a day. And this certificate is enough for you to apply for career position. So if you don't have experience, don't make it the experience, because some people think, oh, I don't have experience, I need to provide some experience. So get somewhere, get the experience, and then they got 10 years ban for this. So experience is not a mandatory for career position. If your employer confirm that I'll give a proper training once he or she comes to the UK, that's enough. Lots of people get this visa using this letter. So if you don't have experience, don't worry about this. As you got to be band 6 and other things, find an employer. If your employer, and if you say, look, I've got this training which you can do online, and if you provide this certificate, I'm sure without experience you can come.
Okay. So this is the last question I'll take from my previous questions. Like lots of people about answering. There is a another visa is called investor visa. So do you want to share with that how if want to someone wants to
Entrepreneur
start
visa,
a
yeah.
business?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a question lots of people ask me, but this is a very, actually nothing has changed. Only change they have done, which is used to be 50,000 pound required for visa, for entrepreneur visa. Now you don't need this fund, but the fundamental is you have to have a business plan, and this business plan has to be innovative business plan. That's the biggest question. If you have a business plan for a bank to open a restaurant, no, it won't work. For a cash and carry, it won't work. So some people ask me, lots of people ask me from Bangladesh or somewhere, I've got 200,000, I want to invest, can I come? I said no, because your business plan, you don't need a money, single money. They don't ask money. They want a nice business plan that you want to, how your business would run, and it has to be innovative and scalable. That its business is not is a growing business, and you have to convince. And who you convince? First, you have to convince to the endorsement body. Like employer, you are convincing employer to get the employee license. Same as an entrepreneur, you have to convince the endorsing body to endorse your business plan. Okay, then you can get
A
an
proper
entrepreneur visa,
startup plan, right? Innovative idea.
startup plan. And then it has to be endorsed by endorsement body, like the employer endorse your employee as a skill. Same, you have to endorse, you have to be endorsed by endorsement body. One second. Third, for the work permit you need English language 4. For the entrepreneur you need English language B2 level, which is 5.5. So English language is going higher, endorsement body is higher. So people think it's very easy, new things come, it's not. That's why I'm not encouraging. I know this is very difficult, because to get the endorsement body to get approval from the endorsement body is very difficult. If somebody is a very genius, got a new startup, then you can try. Endorsement body list you can find in the website. You can try, and if you got endorsement body sorted, we can help you to get the visa sorted. But first you have to get the business plan. And if you have any good business plan, also we can assist you to make it a nice business plan. To we got some liaison with endorsement body, we can send your application to the endorsement body. But first, business plan has to come up with your from your brain, which something has to be innovative, not in the market. So something difference between a new service, your service, something has to be innovative, and then you can get the innovator visa. So otherwise, even if you have a money, and if you say, okay, I've got a money, I want to set up a company, it used to be 200,000. If you have a 200,000, you can set up any business and come. No, it's not like this. Rather, self sponsorship is good. The one I'm talking about. If you open a restaurant or takeaway using somebody else's friends or family who are settled, then you can be sponsored by yourself. But innovator one, it has to be innovative. Simple as that. You can't do entrepreneur means you have to be entrepreneurial things. You can't do like easily any business.
Okay, we're still getting so many questions. We try to ask, our next, session. So if you have any more questions, you can ask to the our if all the social media inbox, or you can email us. Or if you want to, something know more about work, how to get the work permit license, and you know someone need a work permit license, tell them to visit our website or call us. Get an appointment for you want to meet face to face, Mr. Luftu. You can call our office. So hope we'll meet with the next episode with the so many.
One guy said, Ali Ahmed, what he said? ভাই
Uh,
এখন ভিসা দিতে ইউকিউবিআই কেন এত লেট করতেছে, আবার কারো অনেক সোজা যাচ্ছে? হোয়াট অ্যাবাউট ইউর, yeah, that's what I explained with সিরাজুর রহমান. আম, আসলে কারো কারো অ্যাপ্লিকেশন ব্যাকলগে পড়ে গেছে, কেস ওয়ার্কার যে ছিল হাতে, সে হয়তো বা হলিডেতে বা সে দিতে পারে না, সে আইসা পরে দিবে, অথবা ফার্দার কোয়ারি করছে, যে কোয়ারির আনসার আমরা দিছি, দেওয়ার পরে কেস ওয়ার্কার অন্য কেসে লেগে গেছে, এই কারণে সময় লাগতেছে। আবার কারো কারোটা দেওয়ার পরে 4 সপ্তাহে চলে আসতেছে। বাট কারো যদি 12 weeks চলে যায়, email them, and then they will fast track it. But I think they are giving it. So they have already started, as I spoke to Shirajur Rahman, answer that they have started to give the visa. Hopefully everything will be, if the care visa, it will be sorted by this month. Hopefully.
so I hope Mr. Shiraj, Mr. AJ Ahmed SK, you get your answer. So this is the end of our live with Luftur episode 3. আমরা খুবই খুশি হয়েছি, আপনারা অনেকে অংশগ্রহণ করেছেন, অনেক প্রশ্ন, এবং আমরা যেগুলো প্রশ্ন আনসার করতে পারিনি, আমরা পরবর্তী আমাদের লাইভ উইথ লুফতুর 3rd এপিসোডে আমরা আশা করব আমরা সবগুলো আনসার দিব, এবং নতুন নতুন টপিক এবং নতুন আপডেট আমরা নিয়ে আসবো। আমি সবসময় বলি, এবারও বলছি, আপনারা আসলে হুজুকে গুজব শুনে আপনারা বিভ্রান্ত এবং আপনারা টেনশন করবেন না। কারণ আপনার সঠিক তথ্যটা সঠিক জায়গা থেকে সবসময় নেয়ার চেষ্টা করবেন। আপনাদের যদি কোনো এরকম প্রশ্ন থাকে, খুবই আর্জেন্ট থাকে, আপনারা আমাদের ফেসবুকে, আমার বাকি সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ায় আপনার কোয়েশ্চেন করবেন। আমরা চেষ্টা করব আনসার দিতে, অথবা আমাদের লাইভ সেশনে এসে আমরা সবগুলোর আনসার দিয়ে দিব। এবং এই লাইভ উইথ লুফতুরটা করাই হয়েছে, উদ্দেশ্যই ছিল মিস্টার লুফতুরের, আমি অন বিহাফ অফ মিস্টার লুফতুরকে কাছে বলতেছি, এটা করাই উদ্দেশ্য হচ্ছে সঠিক ইনফরমেশনটা যেন মানুষ পায়। এটা একমাত্র উদ্দেশ্য। কারণ we got so many clients, we are happy with our clients. এটা আমাদের একটা CSR, কর্পোরেট সোশ্যাল রেসপন্সিবিলিটি থেকে মনে করেন, যে মানুষকে সঠিক তথ্যটা মানুষকে প্রদান করা। কারণ সবার একটা অধিকার আছে সঠিক তথ্যটা পাওয়ার। সো আমি আপনাদের সবার পক্ষ থেকে এবং মিস্টার লুফতুরকে ধন্যবাদ জানাবো। কারণ যারা মিস্টার লুফতুরকে ব্যক্তিগতভাবে চিনেন, আপনারা আমরা সবাই জানি উনি কি প্রচন্ড ব্যস্ত উনি থাকতে হয়। প্রতিদিন অনেক ইভেন্টস, অনেক সেমিনার, অনেক ওয়েবিনারে অংশগ্রহণ করতে হয়। তারপরেও উনার এত ব্যস্ত সময়ের মধ্যে উনি যে আ একটা এপিসোড এরকম করেন আপনাদের সবার সেবার জন্য, আমি আসলে অন্তঃস্থল থেকে আপনাকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি সবার পক্ষ থেকে। এবং পরবর্তী লাইভে আবারও সবার সুস্বাস্থ্য এবং মঙ্গল কামনা করে আমার পক্ষ থেকে বিদায় নিচ্ছি। এখন মিস্টার লুফতুরের পালা।
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you everyone. Yes, as I said, I know so many message comes up. Even today, one client said, "Why you are not replying my WhatsApp and other things from Bangladesh and other." I can't reply everybody's answer. That's the question. But at least this 1 hour I dedicated for you every 2 weeks because of this. So if you have any question on the platform, you can come and ask, and we will try to answer this if I missed any call from you. But other than this, I can't find a job for you, and you can find an employer. And if the employer don't have a license, I can assist the employer how to get the license. Then I can help you to bring you in the UK. This is my things. But maybe the next program will be after Eid, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
In 2 weeks time, the Eid will yeah, after Eid. So everybody wish you a happy Eid Mubarak, and from us, and see you after Eid. Thank you very much. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, everyone.